Welcome back to another episode of the GSD show. I'm your host, Mike Arce, CEO of Loud Rumor, an organization that helps fitness studios grow and be successful. And I've gotten to interview and learn from some extremely successful people. In fact, I was committed to spending an entire year learning what successful people all have in common. And I even started a podcast called The GOAT Show to help me find that out. I interviewed CEOs of companies that are worth $4.4 billion, even $8 billion, as well as CEOs, athletes, celebrities, all that are just excellent at their craft. And I learned a lot, but it was mainly that change is important. And a phrase that you hear a lot of average people say, that super successful people really never say, I've never heard them say it, is don't change who I am. I don't want to change. Don't change who I am. They want to change who I am. I used to say it. But super successful people are always focused on changing who they are, creating a more advanced, enhanced, upgraded version of who they are. I mean, imagine if cell phones never changed. Imagine if cars, computers, travel, communication, even light bulbs. Imagine if light bulbs never change, right? If a light bulb can evolve, why shouldn't you? Ed Milet is one of the entrepreneurs that I interviewed and I've become good friends with. His net worth is over, well, at least it was over 400 million at the time. It's probably higher now. He told me that, you know, when you look at a kid, the 6-year-old version of that kid's very different than the 5-year-old version. It's a different kid. The way they act, think, talk, it's different. I know I've got 4 kids. I can see it. That 7-year-old is different than the 6-year-old. The 13-year-old is different than the 12-year-old. The 18-year-old is different than the 17-year-old. And somewhere around, after college, around 24, 25 years old, average people just stop changing. The 27-year-old looks a lot like the 26-year-old. The 33-year-old looks a lot like the 32-year-old. And he told me he was committed to his 50-year-old self being very different than his 49-year-old self due to the amount that he'll learn in that particular year. His experiences, the books that he's read, the information he put in his head, the types of people that he's committed to meeting all help him evolve year over year. He said that's one of the keys to being successful is never settling for who you are and always demanding change, demanding improvement because, why not? It's possible, clearly, right? So I want to surround myself with people that do change who I am, for the better, of course. I want people to challenge my current way of thinking, the way I'm working, the way I learn. When my company was doing just $100,000 a year, I wasn't fit to be a CEO of $1 million business right then. I had to change a lot about the way I spoke, the way I led, and the way I managed my day. And the version of me that ran that company once we hit $1 million, right, was not fit to run a $10 million company. Again, I had to change a lot about the way I spoke, the way I thought, the way I led, the way I managed my day. And now that we crossed the $10 million mark, same thing. Again, a couple of years ago, I had to change it all over again. I'm not good enough or smart enough or skilled enough right now to run a $100 million business. And that's just the truth. I'm okay with it, right? I know I've got to keep going. My team needs me to constantly change and improve the way I think, speak, lead, and manage my day. I'm a better CEO now than I was last year. I'm a better father, a better husband, a better friend, a better person than I was last year. And I expect that to be even better version over and over as these continue to go on. Every year, those are going to continue to upgrade. I'll be a bit of a different husband, a different father, a different CEO and friend. Things that I do with my wife now, I didn't do last year. Things that I do with my kids now, I didn't do last year. The way I communicate with my kids is even different than what I did last year. It's almost like a different father as I learn and I grow. And of course, as a CEO and business owner and leader of my people, it's the same. I'm not sure just how I'll be different next year yet, but I know I'll probably incorporate new habits and routines with my wife, kids, employees, my friends that I don't have today. I'll say things and say them in a way that I don't today because I'll see those things differently. The question you've got to ask yourself is, how good do you want to be? Are you really happy with settling for your current version of yourself today? Is this year's version the best version you can become? Tapped out, can't get any better? Of course not. So how successful do you want to be? Brian Tracy is an incredible speaker, author, businessman whose lessons on sales and success and goal setting are, world-renowned, known as some of the best. In his book, I think it was Psychology of Selling, he said that if you want to know how tall a building is going to be, you look at how deep they dig the foundation for that particular building. The deeper the foundation, the taller the building. In the same way, the deeper your foundation of knowledge and skill, the greater the life that you'll be able to build. And you can always build your foundation deeper. Don't accept yourself for who you are today. Your better version of you can always be kinder, can always be smarter, Your better version can always earn more income. Your better version that has more income can donate more of that wealth to good causes. Your better version of yourself helps the world and the people around you be better. Accept that change is good. Find ways to constantly improve yourself. And one of those things is not just finding ways to improve yourself, but finding ways to improve the people that you lead and motivate them to do it. I've woken up earlier and earlier and earlier, and it's not because I have more work to do that if I don't wake up early, I'm not going to get to it. It's not that. I don't wake up early because I have to. I wake up early because I want to. It's math at this point. I mean, if I work an hour or learn, actually, you know what? Got to take that back for a second. The first few hours of every day, I'm not even really working on anything but myself. I read. I read for about an hour to 2 hours per day, just depending on how zoned I am in that book at the moment. But I'll read for about an hour to 2 hours every day. And then from there, I look at my numbers, and then I go get a workout in, and I start work around the same time the average person in America starts, right? I'll wake up at 4:30. And see, I don't wake up earlier because I have so much work to do. If I don't wake up early, I won't keep up. It's because I have so much work to do on myself so that this year doesn't look a lot like last year, so that next year doesn't look a lot like this year. Otherwise, I'm on a treadmill. The treadmill's boring. So wake up earlier, right? When you wake up a little earlier, when you work a little harder, when you stay a little later, these are the things that average people do whatever they can to get out of, right? The average person will find a way to make it just on time for work. They'll rush through. They've got a minute left to make it, and they burst in the door. They literally woke up 20 minutes ago. They're still cleaning out their eyes as they walk in the door. Immediately going from the door to the coffee machine because they haven't gotten a chance to make it or pick it up on the way. The average person will work harder when people are looking, right? But as soon as someone turns the corner, they find a way to do the minimal. And the average person will watch the clock and find a way to look busy as they start closing out their day around 4:58. I mean, if I would need to leave by 5, that means I need to start packing up by 4:55, right? But that's the difference between above average and everybody else. And if you want to know what the difference is between above average and the people that are above the above average, it's even more of that. They wake up even earlier than the people that already started waking up earlier. They stay a little later than the people that started staying a little later. And they always find a way to evolve themselves. So whatever you're working on today shouldn't be what you're working on next year. You know, if right now you're like, all right, I get it, where we're at right now, I'm the sales guy. I've got to make a lot of these sales because right now we don't have scripts, and I've got to create some scripts, and I've got to optimize the scripts as I learn what works, what doesn't work, and I've got to study sales a little more to make sure that, you know, I understand why I'm doing certain things in my scripts and what works and what doesn't work. I want to network with other people in my business. I want to find a way to reach out to other people that are already doing and hitting the numbers that I want to hit in my business and learning from them and finding out what they're doing. I want to do all that first, but I need to get this done this year because if by next year I'm still doing this, it was for nothing. By next year, I need to have a team around me that is able to execute everything that I've learned and mastered and optimized along the way so that I could work on something new. Maybe next year I'm going to work on the marketing. Who is my brand? What do we do? How do we get more people in the door? How do we get more trialers in? What's the offer? What's the hook? And I'm going to master that. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in a team to go ahead and take that over. And the same thing with everything else. And eventually you shouldn't be in the operations. You should really be focusing on leading and continuing to expand the vision and optimize the vision as you'll learn more about not just what your business can actually do and what it should do as you evolve in your mind as well, and you see things differently, but also as the market moves, right? Like right now, I mean, the market in fitness has never been as different as it has been, right? In the last 10 years, this is the most different that it's been. I've never seen so many people work out at home or half capacity or with masks, right? It's just different. So, guys, I wanted to come on here to just really pressure you all to remember that there are no limits to what you can do as long as you keep expanding the machine. The machine is your body. What you do is the thing that your body does. You take a race car driver, that guy can be extremely skilled. He's got it all figured out. He knows everything you need to know to be able to run a perfect race. But if you limit him with his car and you say, hey, here's what you do. You got this awesome car. You got these awesome skills, but we're going to put you in this, 2004 Mustang. Okay, well, great. I'm limited to that. I can't make my car go faster. I could drive this car as perfectly as it can be driven. But if you want me to go faster, I need a better machine at this point. Okay, great. Let's put you in a Lamborghini. Okay, watch this guy go faster. Let's put you in Formula One. Okay, great. Your mind is the machine. You know what you want, right? But your mind is the machine. If you don't continue to upgrade the machine, and by the way, your body is the machine as well, right? Your mind and your body. You got to be healthy. You got to be fit. You got to have the energy and the stamina to keep up with the people that are putting in that much time working on themselves. But if you don't keep upgrading your machine, that's going to be your limit. But as long as you keep upgrading it, there is no limit. There is no limit. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I want you all to be successful. If any of you want to know how you can work with Loud Rumor and our coaches here so we can help push you, drive you, give you the tools, the resources you need to succeed like some of the best, the top 5% of the studios that we've worked with out of the 2000, feel free to reach out to us, 480-567-9794, 480-567-9794. You could also email us at sales@loudrumor.com. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next episode.